Hello world, this is Nick Jackson and this is your One Word Wednesday. Today, I have this guy, he's not only a friend, but he's also an inspiration. I have one of my inspirations here for you today. His name is Daeshawn Beasley. Daeshawn, say hello to the world.
What's going on, world? I'm blessed to be here. I'm blessed to pour into y'all, man. Let's do it, Nick Jackson.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, this is a word that I know you know something about. Today, this whole week, we're talking about the word commitment. When you hear the word commitment, what does that mean to you?
Commitment means throwing your full self into it. And when you're throwing your full self into something, like, it's your first time doing it. The first time you run a mile, it's not going to be the best time. It's not going to be the best time you ever ran, but commitment means consistently doing it to get that 1% better in whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish every day.
Man, when I think of the word commitment, right, the first thing I think of is a cell phone plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember my first cell phone plan. I had a beeper before that, but I ain't gonna tell the kids that. Anyways, I got my cell phone plan, and when I committed to my 2 years on my cell phone plan, they was expecting that there was an expectation based on my commitment. And I also think, like, so my parents, they were committed to raising us. Like, they were committed to that. They invested in it. It was a part of their day. They ate, we ate. There was a commitment. Man, I gotta ask you, in your commitments, what has been the biggest challenge for Daeshawn Beasley?
Not being overcommitted. We want to be the best for everybody, but we got to understand there's only so many hours in a day. We only have so much energy to give, especially if we're committing to a lot of things. That keeps draining. Think about it. You're an energy source. You're a battery pack. If 90% of your battery pack is going out and you never get a chance to recharge at least above 50%, 50% cell phone, at least back in the day, could last you the whole day. You know what I mean? So not being overcommitted is the number one challenge.
Man, with that overcommitment, I was just thinking about how hard it has been in my commitment journey to say the word no. Like, to say the word no. So what you're doing is, by saying overcommitted, what you're doing is you're saying no to some things. And then sometimes when you say no to some things, it hurts relationships. You know what I mean? Like that could be painful. I know for me, I wear this Speak Love shirt. I'm the director, Speak Love, CEO, founder, all that good stuff, right? And I'm driving down the street. Somebody cut me off, and I almost lost my commitment to speaking love. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes I'm walking down the street and people know me as the love guy. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on in life and entrepreneurship. Finances go up and down, taxes go up and down. Like, all these different things are happening. But I am committed to speaking love to people's children and to themselves in their commercial spaces. And it doesn't end there. So when I'm at home, it's also speak love. Like, when I'm talking to you on the phone, it's also speak love. When I'm hanging out with my friends, it's also speak love. Have you had any commitments in your life that have been pervasive, that have bled into other parts of your being?
I think that it should be, if your commitments are in the right thing, that you say the ladder is on the right wall, meaning, you're not just climbing just to climb. You're focused on a goal. You're intentional with your commitment. If you're intentional with that commitment, it's going to make you evolve, hopefully full circle. For example, let's just use the basketball commitment that I made myself, to become the basketball guru, to soak up as much basketball knowledge and spread it to the masses. In that commitment, I've learned to be more disciplined. Make sure I'm fueling my body. I have to make sure I'm working out on a consistent basis just to maintain. I have to make sure on those days where I might be pouring into people all day, because I'm working all day, I'm drinking my water, I'm still doing my meditation, I'm taking care of myself. And that's pouring into those, they say, 7 spokes. Who was that? Zig Ziglar in that wheel. Anything that you're doing, anything that you're committed to, you have to make sure that you're staying in that balance of those 7 spokes, the spiritual, the personal, your relationships with your family. You have to make sure it's congruent amongst the 7, because if not, that's when you fall, and that's when you, air quote, fail, or maybe feel as a failure because something's not right. It's because you're not balanced in those 7 areas.
I gotta ask you this question because a lot of people don't know that I mean, you were by far one of the best basketball players your college has ever seen. A lot of people don't know that you went to my college before that and didn't have the same kind of interaction, didn't have the same kind of success. What was the commitment that you made? And even people don't know that you were at Coleraine and you didn't get to play a lot, as a young person, right? What was the commitment that you made? What was it that you've done? If you're talking to other people and be like, this is the step to success, this is the first thing I had to do, what was that?
The word of the day, man, commitment. I had to commit myself to, no, literally, I had to commit myself that no matter what somebody else thought or felt or did to me, it wasn't going to stop my progression as a basketball player. So my goal is to make it be seen or make it noted that I'm doing everything in my power to become a better player. And if I'm a great player, no coach in this world, you're not going to have a chance but to put me in the game and let me produce. So I had to make that commitment because I can honestly say, they say internal locus of control, meaning that you're intrinsically motivated. You're acting on your inner circle of influence, meaning everything that you can influence by doing, speaking, you focus on that. Your extrinsic locus of control, which is around you, things you can't control. I can't control somebody's viewpoint on me. So I had to make it known that I'm doing everything in my internal control to get me to my goal. And that's what it was, because in the past, I was blaming and they don't feel this way about me. So, I feel bad about myself now. And so I'm not going to work out, or I'm going to gain weight and end up gaining 20 pounds as a freshman in college. I had to commit and be like, okay, it doesn't matter what somebody else thinks. Am I still doing those things daily are going to get me to my goal at the end of the day? Because there's a bigger goal than what they think. There's more inner moving pieces than what that one person thinks. It's like dating. There's so many fish in the sea. Just because one fish doesn't, doesn't see the value in you, or doesn't see how hard you work, or how much potential, air quote, that you have, you still have to keep committing yourself to doing what it is you set out to do.
Can I just point something out real quick? And it's just because I'm just need to be real. When we talk about dating, why are we talking about fish? Like, what is that? Who said this? Why don't they say there's birds in the air, right? Or there's bees in the trees? You know what I'm saying? And why are we talking about fish? Who started that, Daeshawn? That's what I want to know. Hey, I got another question. One of the things that I did to represent my commitment to love was I tried my best, right, to be of best character at all times. But sometimes when I watch the things on the news, especially things with police officers and things like that, protesters being shot, like when I'm looking at this stuff, it challenges my commitment, right? Now, I know you run a character business. You're not only are you a trainer, you're training basketball players at all levels. I mean, pros all the way down to babies, right? So how do you keep that focus on character in your business when all of these things are going on externally?
That's tough. I think it goes back to that, what you can control. I mean, and what you can control is your emotions. And when I say control your emotions, I don't mean bottle everything up and don't come to understand when it is that, because I went through this, during quarantine and the whole Corona thing when it first broke out. I'm having these emotions, but root of the emotion, right? If you can seek to understand what's at the root, which is your character, which is you as a person, you coming to know yourself, that's how you build that character. And that in the basketball training world and personal training world, sometimes I call it like breaking them in through a brutal workout, something that they didn't even think that they could achieve. And once they're done with it, they just kind of have like an epiphany moment, like, oh, am I really doing everything that I can do to do what I say I want to do? And it's like, wow, like this is what's going to help me get there right here. Like I have to bring this in all other areas. Wow. And if they don't have that epiphany moment, but gradually we start to, what is it, like the light bulb, Albert Einstein, we just find out things that don't work. That doesn't mean that it's lost. We just find out ways that it didn't work to really get into that character, because some people are raised differently and have different backgrounds, right? So it might be harder for somebody to dig deep inside themselves when other people have been scripting them, or they've been accepting those scripts that they're given. So that's a consistent, it's like a, yeah.
So now I know you're in Boston now, and I know you're training athletes, and I know probably a good number of your athletes are African Americans, but there's also another large portion of your athletes that are not. And with all the things that have gone on with COVID, Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, police shootings, all of this kind of stuff, how have you been able to keep people focused on basketball and not focused on, rioting, looting, fighting, arguing, canceling each other out? How do you keep it focused?
I keep it focused on empathy. I think that's the big emphasis. That's a big thing that I teach in kids is, for example, we have to give ourselves grace, empathy, as in how many times is it that we do something and we're like, oh, you're so stupid, or, oh, you're so dumb. I always tell my kids, you can't talk to yourself how you would talk to your mother. You wouldn't tell your mother, like, Mom, you're not good. You know what I mean? So why are you telling that to yourself? Right. So if you can understand, I'm not going to tell that to myself, then I'm not going to say it to another person. I'm not going to make another person feel that way, right? I'm going to be empathetic because would I want to feel that way? Somebody telling me, hey, you suck, you mess up a couple times, miss a couple shots, miss a couple layups. Are you going to tell somebody, man, you suck, get off the court? Like, why are you telling yourself that? Understand mastery of the self, so then you can really empathize and understand. And that's the thing, it's just understanding. I'm not saying I have to be able to sympathize, solve their problems. It's just making an attempt to understand somebody. So you're not going to do something to maybe offend them, if that's the word you want to use, but to not be a positive force on them. At the end of the day, that's what you're being, is not a positive. You want to be a positive force by being empathetic.
Could you do me a favor? Please explain to the world, when you say the word empathy, what are you saying? What does that mean to you?
Put yourself in the other person's shoes. And the golden rule, treat others as you want to be treated. Kind of treat others as they want to be treated, which is in the same concept. What's going on? What's going on, young man? Hey, have a good one, man. Bless. Yeah. But yeah, it's in treating somebody how you want to be treated, how they want to be treated, which is not in a negative light, I would think, So that's what I think. Let me ask you, what do you think of? What do you feel when you think of the word empathy?
Right. So when I think of the word empathy, I'm feeling, and I can put myself mentally in your same emotional space, right? I can empathize when I can feel you. I can sympathize when I recognize that there's symptoms of something. I could see something going on over there. But when I empathize, I actually feel you. Now, there's another word that's called apathetic, right? When I'm apathetic, I can't feel you and I don't care, right? And like what I'm noticing is it's easy to gain a level of apathy. So like, especially with the stuff that's going on with the police, people are talking about how hard their job is and what's going on in the situation and blah, blah, blah. And like when kids come to me, I know they don't care about that story. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about that narrative. All they're thinking of is, I don't feel safe in my skin in the United States of America. And I'm on edge. And I've been there as an athlete. I've been there as a man. I've been there as a Black athletic man. You feel what I'm saying? And so to stay away from apathy, I always want them to be able to, if you can't empathize, first understand, just see that there's something going on over there. And then hopefully we could feel it. Hopefully we could move to a place of feeling. Now I got one more. I got two more questions. One, okay. I need you to let the world know how to find you. I need you to let them know what your handles, what your program, what are you doing, how do they connect with you? And then two, probably most importantly, if you and in this, I'm gonna give you the 25 seconds, right? You got 20, after you tell them how to connect with you, you got 25 seconds to pitch why commitment is important to you.
Go. Okay. So they can find me on the grams of grams, Coach_Bees. That's the YouTube handle, the tweet on Instagram, because I have a basketball training app. All the workouts, the over 3,000 exercises, fitness, yoga, stretching, everything that you can need in this app. Go ahead and go to my Instagram page. It's in my bio. I'm giving out free beta testing. It's going on from now until the end of the year. So I'd love for you guys to check that out. And why is commitment? Can you repeat that question? Why is commitment a
Mitch, why is commitment important to you?
why is commitment important to me? Because if you can't commit to anything, will you ever fully achieve or bring forth anything? If you're not committing to anything, what can you produce? You know, we're in this world to produce, as in to build up other people, to give other people maybe the opportunity to increase their value. You know, what are you producing if you aren't committing to anything? Can you commit to anything? I mean, can you produce without committing?
You know what? That's so crazy you said that, because in my last 25-second spiel, I've had success without commitment. And since I've had success without commitment, I've learned some horrible habits. I didn't even understand how I was hurting myself by succeeding without committing. And then the difference between a man and a boy to me is a man wants to commit to things. A man wants to. A boy just wants to be good at them and successful at things. And you'll even see this in business, and especially in entrepreneurship. The one thing I like the most about you, even when you were a young dude, I can tell you had ability to understand commitment. When other people just want success, that's why your character doesn't matter, right? It's all about success, not commitment, that equals success. So, yo, this is Nick Jackson. I'm here with my boy, Daeshawn Beasley. Y'all, be committed. Thank you.
Bless. Yes, sir.